Hello everyone and welcome back to Jubilee Road. So in the next couple of videos I am going to be showing you how I do the work on the depot extension, and here it is. So as you know, the depot used to be only these 4 lines here with the shed building, but that really wasn't enough storage for what I want. So extended it as far down as there. Now we've got this lovely empty space. I'm going to put another 3 lines in here with a couple of shed buildings. The point work is already in place. We've got one just here and another one there. So what I need to do first is track laying and planning, as you would say. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to show you how I quickly plan out the track area, and then I'm going to also lay the track in this episode as well. And yes, you might just be able to spot a train going past in the background, giving one of my American locos a run. So let's start work on this depot extension. Right, now here is the 2 buildings I have actually got for this area. Now this is one of the Bachmann models you can see there, one of the Seamcraft range. Now this has been around since the days of old Jubilee Road. It's got a little bit of damage just here, can you see that? I don't know if you can see it, but a bit of super glue will sort that out. So that's one building that I'm going to be using. Now the other one is just down here. It's this large shed building. Now this was scratch built by Russell, and what a job he has done on this, as you can see, really nice. So where are these going to go? Well, let's have a look. So I want to create as much space as I possibly can in this area, as you can see. So this shed building is going to go right up to the edge of the board and sit around about there. It does have a removable roof, by the way, so you can get in and out. So that's going to sit about there, as you can see just there. I know the lighting's not perfect for this, but where's this one going to go? Well, my idea was to put it around this area just here. So you have a track coming up here into this servicing depot, and you'll have the other 2 coming up into there. So, track. I'm going to be using FlexiTrack code 100. So let's take a look at the track. Right then, here is the track that I've currently got. These are brand new pieces of FlexiTrack done by Pico, and as you can see is code 100, and I've kept it the wooden sleepers to sort of keep with the rest of it, which you can see just over here. And also a lot of depots in the UK, or old ones, still have the wooden sleeper track. So how is this going to pan out? So we're going to do this line first, which runs into here. It's always good to do sort of, I don't know, a dry run would you call it, just to plan out where you think you're going to want your track. And that is what I'm going to do. It doesn't have to be perfect at this stage. It gives you an idea of where you want to put it. Well, yeah, just like that. We've got a couple of bits of older pieces of track here, which I've cleaned up a little bit. It doesn't matter, well, if it's older track, if it's in decent condition. Now the other one is quite a bit more simple. We just bring it up to this point here. As I said, for now it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. We're just given an idea of where the track needs to go. And then this last piece connects to the point which is just out of shot just here, which will run at sort of an angle into that piece. Now this older track, which I've got here, I believe it's a bit of set track, I think. Yes, it is, Hornby set track. Now this is in good enough condition. Yeah, it's got a bit of ballast on, but I can clean that up, which will go on the end of this piece of track just here, and that will fit. And then we do have a small gap. If I just pick the camera up and show you, we bring you down here, you can see that there is a gap here that I need to find a piece of offcut, which I have plenty. So you can kind of get the idea now of what this area is going to look like. A bit awkward actually, because you can see how much space I've got to work it. It's, yeah, not a lot. So that is the track plan which I am going to go for. So what do we need to do? Well, track laying is fairly simple. That's there because it was my camera mount. That's not supposed to be there, so let me just get rid of that. Otherwise it looks rather silly. First things we need to do is really get the fish plates on the end of all 4 bits of track. fairly simple and straightforward, but I am going to remove some of the sleepers to make that easier. So I'm going to get my Dremel and cut them off. What possibly could go wrong with that? Hopefully nothing, but here we go. Well, as I said, I've got to cut the ends of the sleepers off. Now, do you have to do this? Not really. You can force the fish plates underneath, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to simply cut the sleepers off on the ends, put the fish plates on, and then put the sleepers back in once the track is laid. It's a pretty simple process. Here is my Dremel. I don't know where's it from? Can you guess? I know that's a bit back to front. Shall I do it this way? I don't know where it's from. Any ideas? I have no idea. Really inexpensive, and these really are fantastic tools. So what I'm going to do is just cut some of these sleepers off. Bit of a noise, but here we go. You should really wear eye protection for this, by the way, when you're doing this. So let's just cut these. Right, that should be enough cutting to get these sleepers off. It is very quick, as you can tell, and you just bring the sleepers off. Make sure you keep all these sleepers because they always come in handy somewhere around the layout. So that is all of those off. So you can just see if I bring this piece of track to you, oh, it gets stuck in there. And as you can see, we have a couple of sleepers being taken off so I can get the fish plates on there. So I'm going to put that track back in place, and I'm going to fit the fish plates on the end of each one. So let's do that bit now. So here are my fish plates, as you can see. Not sure why they call them fish plates, must be a reason for that. Now I'm not going to show you me fitting fish plates to every single one because, well, I think a lot of you should know how to fit fish plates. So they basically just fit on the end of the track and you just push them in. They can be a bit of a tight fit, but that's okay. And I would recommend you using brand new fish plates whenever you are laying track. It's just so it gives a good conductive sort of thing across each one, because some of the older fish plates might deteriorate over time. So there is that one. I'm going to fit the fish plates to the other ones now, and then I'll come back and we'll get track laying underway. Right. Now I've fitted all the fish plates onto each 3 bits of track, I've got to fit this into this point work here. So, pretty straightforward job. You just got to make sure the rail itself doesn't ride above the fish plates. That does happen and it causes a bump in the track, and that's the last thing you want to do. So if we just... Right, if I just straighten that out so we can get an idea of how it's going to look. So for now, as you can see, that is rather nice. Now yes, there is a slight bigger gap on this side which I'm going to sort out, but when laying track you must leave expansion gaps. Doesn't matter where your layout is, you really need to do this. Now we just reconnect, or connect up should I say, this one as well. Exactly the same way of doing it at this end as well. So if we just push it in, yeah, these ones really are quite a tight fit on here. So if we give it a good, there we go, that's about done there for that piece of track as well. So as you can see, just lift the camera up for you, they are now fitted into there. As you can see, yes, the gaps are left in the track. That's why you should always keep these. These can go back under. And as you can see, that gap is a bit too big, so I will sort that out. These are pretty much perfect. And the last one to do is actually that one. That just needs to connect there, which I'm going to do off camera. So I'm just going to do that, and I'll come back to you when more is done. And there we go, that's that little job done off camera. Only took maybe 10 minutes to finish the rest of it. So all lines are now connected. As you can see, I still haven't put the sleepers back in, which I'm going to. If we come a bit further down here, yes, this track's not too, it's a bit like that at the moment, but I will sort that out. And it goes into both sheds. All the fish plates are fitted, so we shouldn't have any electrical problem. So what is the next step? Pin the track down? it isn't. What you really need to do is get a piece of rolling stock, doesn't matter what, and test the track work. So that is what I'm going to go and do now. I'm going to get a piece of rolling stock and see if the track work is okay. This is the piece of rolling stock now I have chosen to use. Again, it doesn't matter because the tracks are not powered at the moment. So we just need to make sure, obviously, that the points are all facing the right way. Now see, luckily I tested that. This point here will not change because this sleeper is stopping the bar from coming across. Now, that's good, I've spotted that, so I didn't pin the track down and then notice, because that wouldn't have been very good. So I just need to cut one of this sleeper off. Can you just see this one here with my Dremel, and then the point work should operate much better. So if I just get my Dremel back again, beware there is going to be some noise, so I'm just going to quickly cut that one sleeper down and then we should be okay. Right, let's just check to see if the point will come across now, and there we go. The point now changes as it's supposed to. So that's why you should never pin the track down straight away before you give it a test. So we just turn that one as well. So here is the test then. How does this coach run over the newly laid track? Very, very nicely. So if we just change the point back and go into the middle road, push it all the way down to the shed. Definitely no issues there at the moment. It seems all nice and smooth. And now we just check the final line, which is just down this way. If I just move the coach, there we go, and bring it down this way. It seems all very nice and smooth running track. I'm pretty happy with that. I can't see any problems there at all. So now I'm just going to refit these sleepers is the next bit to do. So these are the sleepers I took out. What I did do is slightly file the chairs back just so they fit underneath the track okay. So you want to really do this before you pin the track down because it'll be a lot more difficult. They don't have to be perfect because, well, nothing with railways is perfect, is it? So if you just sort of place them about where you'd like them to go, because eventually when we put the ballast in, the ballast will obviously, and then the last one was over this area, the ballast will hold it in eventually. So that's about right just there, yes. So now what, it looks much better than it did before. Now I put the sleepers back in. So what is the next part of this track laying job? Track pins. We've got to get the track pins in there. I'm going to quickly show you how I do a couple of them, and then I'm going to turn the camera off and I will do the whole lot. So we don't want to be here all day watching me putting track pins in. Right then, here we go. I've got my bag of track pins. So I'm just going to slip a couple into my hand just here, because we don't want the whole bag, and we'll just move that out the way. Now I'm going to place them in the middle of the track, and I'm using a pin pusher rather than a hammer, just because, well, less noise and stuff. Now what you can do, you can pre-drill holes in the sleepers before you do this. Normally I don't bother, so yeah, all you do with the pin pusher, you put the pin, as you probably know, in the end, and I'm going to use this point just here, and you just tip it upside down in the middle of the sleeper as best as you can get it, and then just push down. That's it. That's all you have to do. And now that point is secure in place. So in every interval you want to do the same thing. So to put it in the middle of the sleeper as best as you can get it. Sometimes it actually goes completely the wrong place, like this one is about to. It quite often does that, but that's because I haven't drilled pilot holes before doing this. So if you just push down again, it does take some effort depending on the wood that you're using, and you can see that is all nice and firm and it will not move. And I'm going to do that all the way down, and then I'm going to test the track as well. By the way, hopefully you all are enjoying this kind of video. As you know, I don't do this very often, but I just wanted to show you how I do track laying. I'm bit of a sort of a novice when it comes to this, but I'm getting better at it, and I hope it sort of helps you to see how easy track laying can actually be. What I'm going to do, I'm going to fit all the track pins in the rest of this, because as I said, you don't want me to be here all day watching me do that, and then we'll come back and see the results. And there we go, I have fitted the fish plates all the way down each 3 lines. When you're putting in straight track, do not overdo it, you just don't need to. If you've got a sharper curve, then yes, put in a few extra ones to keep it in place. But relatively this is straight. It does curve just there to get in to the center of each door there, so that is rather quite good. It's all pretty solid now. The last job in today's video then is to sort out this slightly bigger gap which I mentioned earlier. Now I've got a little pliers or tool to do that, and I'm going to quickly show you how to do it. This is all I'm going to use. All you need to do is grab this rail here and pull it this way towards the point to close this gap up. Now you really do kind of want to do this a later date after the track pins are gone in, because otherwise you'll end up pulling the whole piece of track the wrong way, which, well, you don't really want to do that. So all you just want to do is just grab the rail, not too tight, otherwise you'll ruin the rail, and then you just move it forward and the gap will close up. Takes a little bit of force, and there we go. Yeah, that's a much better gap there now. So if I just put those there and quickly show you, as you can see, just lift the camera up, that gap there is much better. Still possibly a tad big, but that will be fine because it's a depot area. We shouldn't have any issues with that at all. And that is pretty much what I'm going to be doing in episode 1 of doing the extension. So in today's video, we planned the track area and the buildings, laid the track, put the pins in, the fish plates, make sure the gaps in between are not too big, and refitted some of these sleepers where I took them off earlier. Now I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you're new to track laying, I hope it's given you a bit of help. Obviously there's plenty of people out there that do track laying, so just don't watch my videos, watch a few of them. Now obviously if you're an expert at track laying and I've done it completely wrong, go on, tell me in the comment sections. I'm sure someone will. I can take it, don't worry about it. But I think it's quite a nice job. Fairly simple, obviously. As you can see, this runs really rather nicely. There's no sort of bumping around, there's no derailing over the joints, and that's a nice smooth curve to get locos in and out of that service area. So let me know if you'd like to continue this series here at Jubilee Road, something I don't normally do, as you know. In the next episode, I am going to sort out track electrics to get this powered in, and we will also look at doing some ballasting. Now that's going to be a decent sized job to ballast this, because we will have to do track weathering, ballasting, and then later on we'll move into the more detailing and lighting. So thank you very much for watching episode 1 of the depot extension build. I'll be back here at Jubilee Road or somewhere on location very soon. Bye everyone.